Okay, take three. This is my newest radio controlled truck. It's an Axial SCX24 Ford Bronco 1/24th scale. I have done a lot of upgrades to this, so I had to make a list here so I don't forget everything that I did to it. The first thing I knew right away when I got it out of the box, I would have to replace the tires, wheels, and the shocks. It came with just springs for the shocks, so it was very bouncy, so I replaced those springs with oil-filled shocks. And these have a longer travel, so it gives the suspension a longer travel for climbing over rocks. It's a rock crawler. The tires and wheels, these are the original ones, and these are just a cheap plastic, very soft, cheap tire. So I bought a slightly taller, wider, softer rubber, and I added deep dish aluminum rims, so that actually brings the wheel out a little bit wider, so it's got a wider wheelbase. With this truck, this hard body, it's a beautiful looking truck. All the detail to it is amazing, but that adds a lot of weight to it, and for a rock crawler, that's not good because it makes it top heavy. You can see it even has a driver inside. I don't know if you can see him, but the detail's amazing. But that adds a lot of weight to the top, and a lot of people will take these things off, remove the interior. But I want to keep it scale looking. I want to keep it. It looks awesome. So what I opted for was adding weight. I added weight to the bottom of the vehicle. The first thing I did for adding weights were these wheel weights. Right here, you got these wheel weights. They are wheel weights and extended hubs. So it actually widens the, I don't know what you call that. It makes a wider wheelbase, I guess, and adds weight to it. The next thing I did for weights was the differential covers. You got right here, this is kind of hard to do with one hand, this is a brass differential cover. I replaced the original plastic one with a brass one because that adds a lot of weight, and there's also one in the front. It's kind of hard to see, but right here behind the steering linkage is another one. So I got those on the front and back to add a lot more weight. The next thing I did was all this red here, these links are aluminum. It's a high clearance suspension links. So the original ones were all plastic, so that adds some weight to it, and it gives it more clearance for climbing over rocks. Plus it looks cool. It matches the color of the truck. And then the drive shafts here. You got front and rear drive shafts. Excuse me. I replaced the stock plastic ones with steel ones. Those will be more heavy duty, and it has added weight to the vehicle. And then these aluminum skid plates just to protect the axles. That was another thing I did. And then you can see on the top here and on the bottom, actually both sides, these are called rock sliders. They protect the vehicle when climbing over rocks, and they look really cool. They're aluminum. They add a little weight to the vehicle. Let's see what else I did. Front bumper. I also replaced the front bumper, mostly just for a cool effect. This is an aluminum bumper. The original one was plastic. You get these aluminum rings that move. That was mostly just because it looks cool. I also added this light bar. This light bar, I can't demonstrate it right now, but it's bright white. It's yellow, it flashes yellow. It cycles through like 8 different things. It has the red and blue police flashing, has the yellow flashing, white flashing, just white headlights. It also has regular headlights here and lights in the bumper. So it's got some lights that I can't really demonstrate right now that look pretty cool. Because of all the added weight, there were 2 other upgrades. For the steering, I replaced the original steering servo with a high torque servo, and it came with these aluminum suspension links. So it's a much stronger steering servo, high torque. And then the other thing I did was the motor. I replaced the motor with a high torque motor. This one's twice the size, a lot more power. It just helps it get over everything with all the added weight to it. I've added a lot of weight to this. I forget exactly how much. And then also, you can't see it, but in the axles, in here are gears. I put an overdrive worm gear. No, I put an underdrive gear in the rear axle. It's an underdrive worm gear. What that does, it makes the rear wheels spin slower. So the front wheels, when it's going over rocks, going up hard to navigate terrain, the front wheels are actually spinning faster than the rear ones, and that just helps it get over everything. I paid $130 for this truck, and I got over $200 in upgrades, and it was worth every penny. This thing is a little monster truck. It's great for rock crawling. That's the latest thing I'm into, is rock crawling, and I just love the scale appearance to this thing. It's an amazing looking little truck. My Axial SCX Ford Bronco.